one moves at least. Hello, Oscar. I'm not very far. I mean, I've been playing it for hours, but I'm not very far. I'm a bit crap at it, to be honest. Because I played Quern. When I looked up, yes, yeah, and I've played Myst-like. You know, I played most of the Myst games already. I played 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, I'll use this opportunity to explain everything. You appear here at the start. I think in this machine. This is a teleporter, I think. You get this note. It says, welcome to Celius. It's the moon of the planet Menra. It says, if you're reading this message, it means this device works correctly. And I can't be in there because it's how Myst games work. There's a treasure. So we're looking for a treasure. Key on the back of this device contains teleportation coordinates that allow you to activate the Etion and go back home. Cool? So let me just double check on what that says. The key on the back of this device contains the teleportation coordinates that allow you to activate... Okay. The key on the back of the device contains the teleportation coordinates. Do you see? So I picked up a thing, and if you look over there, there are 2 icons. Those are essentially items I've picked up. It's not like I'm point and click though. They're not going to do anything unless I find the exact thing. But like, what I certainly did not see was a series of numbers. This seems to be a coordinate machine for a teleporter. I can enter in numbers. If I do so, one more over here. It'll shift. Those go up to quite high numbers. Lovely. Okay. Let's reset them though. It's nice and tidy. So to get the ball rolling, I need this shit to be pointing at somewhere. We have a T building, an observatory, and like a harbour, and the generator. If you press this button here, it will turn the lamppost on and off. That is flashing. Now it's not obvious, but it's flashing 1, 1, 1. Other lampposts might go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, of course, you'll need a second lamppost to make that deduction. This is a turbine. I can turn it left or right. Oh, I probably can't do anything with it anymore. But I had to turn it the correct direction, then dip it under the water so I could have power for the island. You can't do fucking anything until you figure this shit out. And to be fair, there are wires. It does sort of tell you. This is a tram. T for tram. To go anywhere on the tram, we're at the base. Actually, I wonder what happens. Like a labbed cannon. It presumably won't do anything. So, I just straight up didn't see this. I had to look up a guide. I was like, motherfucker, it's on the ceiling. I just didn't look up. Anyway, We are at the base. So to go somewhere else, you put one of these on base and one of these on a different thing. We'll visit there in a second. I don't know what that is. It is presumably something. This is an observatory. There is an electric cannon somewhere. I know exactly where it is. I've been there via the tram. Here's some more writings. There was a house. I have not been to the house. You could purportedly get there via the tram. I might have enough electric to go there now, though. Here's an electric cannon. Okay, we looked at those. Here are some more messages. From Minerus. Minerus Celius is a wonderful side. Many years of studied surface. I drew maps of the storm thing. Using various means, engineered an airship and can travel in space and bring everything necessary to me. Okay, sure. Fluff. The easiest way to find your sea, each port has a beacon, so the lamppost, that can be identified by the number of times it flashes. If the weather is clear, it's possible to see the beacon of any island because of the island's proximity to each other. I have looked. None of the lampposts were on, apart from the local one. So you've got to go there via the tram first, presumably. After the discovery of the other islands, once new facilities were built on them, I had a network of stations set up for a small electrical airship that facilitated movement from one facility to another. I still need to improve the reliability of the battery. Okay, so everything has fucking batteries. So that tram, up that thing I had to pull to get it to move, had a number with its power on it as well. Here are the places we can go. We are at Telescope Island. We're in that building. I do not know what this means or if it even means anything. I'm assuming that arrow is pointing to where the Well, why would know? It's pointing to this building here. I don't necessarily know why, but... What's that? Oh, that's the power line. This is Cannon Island. This is where we collect the electricity. I'll show you that in a bit. This is all the islands, but I don't know. And this is Laboratory Island. We have been there as well. So you will note that this point's somewhere randomly in the sea. This point specifically near the tram. I don't know if that means anything. This is currently pointed at 0000000, and it is pointing at a flashing light. That flashing light, the 0000000 flashing light, is blinking twice. And I believe it is pointing at north? If we look at the map. Yeah, it's looking at Laboratory Island. So the coordinates to Laboratory Island should presumably be 0000000. If I do this, and press the button, it will turn that right. And if I move the other one, it'll move it up. I tried getting it to face that. It didn't do anything. It can't. That's not on the horizon. It's slightly above the horizon. I don't know. Did I read all the things? Facing the base island, an island composed of two craters where one built a laboratory to experiment on wireless electricity transmission. Due to the experiments, I was able to master techniques. Access to this facility is protected by code. That of the laboratory is composed of the number of the beacon flashes followed by its horizontal coordinates. So we know the facility code is 2000. 2 flashes, horizontal coordinates 000. Now, Yeah, see, this has a charge of like 7.5. It doesn't say what the minimum is, but maybe we don't have the maximum. Now, imagine... all this stuff I'm showing you, by the way, is taking me at least 2 hours and a couple of nudges. But I'm hoping I'm only going to need the nudges at the start, just so I can understand the sort of base logic of the game, if that makes any sense. But potentially, the game might just be above me, or I might just have to play it when my brain works better, like on a Saturday. Not after work on a Monday. Well, I'm likely to be the most tired. So this door, as you can see, the code was 2000. I tried 0002 and it was wrong. If we go down here, there is another harbour. That is how I figured out the code, because I turned on the flashing lamppost. We have ourselves another teleporter. Doesn't do anything. I'm assuming this just isn't on yet or not powered. I can see nothing to interact with here, but I see electrical towers. I see a center Tesla tower thing. I'm doing this for me, by the way, as well. Then there is this building here. If we go beyond this building, we can see the water is too high, so presumably there's some way of moving the water down. This is a circle, which might imply it rotates. It, at the very least, has a sort of blast shield. We can close the door. We can finally use the key by putting it in there. But it does fuck all. I can press this button. It does nothing. So I have to assume there isn't any power. I picked up a small key here, I think. Or was it here? I think I picked up a key here, which is presumably on that. I've got no way to inspect the key or anything like that. If I press escape, that's all that you get. There is no like inspect or anything like that. As far as I know, there is nothing interactable. But you know what? I haven't spent 20 minutes trying to scan all these books. Nor am I going to, unless I'm prompted otherwise. But as far as I can tell, nothing is interactable around here. But, you know, maybe it is. Maybe I just didn't spot it. Here is another desk with more writing. And here's our second. So far, these have been very important for pushing us forwards. So now it's talking about lightning. That the lightning is required to do stuff. The lightning tower, sure. This is how the teleporters work. Through the energy beam, all matter is contained into the sphere and instantly swapped with matter. Teleportation worked really well for the Cannon Island and House Island, although it seems the storms interfered with Cannon Island's telescope signal. Had to manually calculate its coordinates. Cool. Do you fancy writing those shit down anywhere? I built a house on a high structure to reinforce a thick metallic shield. House can be opened and closed using a pneumatic system. Can be activated with a special key. So I might reread that yet later, but like... as far as I know, that's everything. However... very easily could have missed a fucking door like I did on one of the islands. So let's go back. Now, I've previously tried to get to the house and it just doesn't do anything. And I will try that again in a second, because I have reason to believe maybe it will work now. Oh. What? Huh. Curious. Didn't realise polarity made any difference. Maybe one's a from and one's a to. Keep that in mind. This is the cannon room. So one of the last things I did before everyone arrived was find this fucking black door that I don't know how obvious that is, but I passed that loads. Maybe you're just supposed to notice this, but like I'm really bad at like just spotting things. I would really like a stupid spark. Like I'd like solving puzzles. I don't like looking for things. And a part of me would be like, hey, oh, hang on, how do I get down there? Just add some sparkles and shit so I can actually see. Okay, so this power was previously fluctuating when I got to there. Here is a series of bridges. I can turn them. Like so. Here's a door. I don't know how to open it. So, I believe so I had to look this up because I was really confused about this. There's no like change of light. Like that doesn't. There's no feedback to what this does. But apparently the light pointing towards the light is on and pointing away is off. And yeah, sure, I could have probably figured that out. But like, I don't know. Having the light turn on would have also told me. So, if we turn this... Oh, hang on. Can I not move this? That's weird. Why can't I move this one? That's curious. So this one's deliberately off. So I can turn the power down if I want. But I assume I want the power as high as possible. So the very last thing I did was when I got this to stop fluctuating, so it's on 6, I pressed this and now it is on. Power teleporters is powered. And I'm like, okay, this one is off because if I turn it on, it will make the power fluctuate. It's broken. Maybe there's like a hole in one of the wires. And yeah, I've turned the power on to the teleporters, and I still don't know. I wonder how you get down there. So I'm going to try a thing. But that's it. That's everything I know so far. We haven't been to the home, but maybe I got the polarity wrong. Maybe it requires the power to be a certain... above the maximum. Why is the charge so low? Oh, because it probably uses up the charge getting there. So if I set this to house. So we'll wait for the charge to go up. Which honestly I didn't realise there was a thing until just now. It says no. Now, presumably what I want to do is send this somewhere, and then when it's there, use the teleporters to get from A to B. That's what I presumably have to do. I just don't know how to get the teleporters to go there. So... Also... Yeah, I don't understand why it's not teleporting me back. So the lab has a teleporter. That's the lab with flashing light. Why is this not doing anything? Because presumably what I'm supposed to do is teleport away, then switch it so it goes from here to the home, teleport back, and then take the tram to a new place. Because we don't have any way of directing the tram to somewhere new from here. But the teleport, despite the fact I know I have the power, I have powered teleporter, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. But it's entirely possible there's just a thing I've not clicked on. I'm curious if there's anything down here as well. Doesn't seem like there. Like, there's no way to send this off either. So, as far as I know, the coordinates to that island is 00000. Want me to turn that off? You'll note that that was already what it was set on. Maybe it's even on the flat one, which would make sense. Does it make a difference which one is pressed? So if I move this up, it'll acknowledge that I've changed the number. No. So I'll tell you what. I'll try all three 00000s. That's exciting. I thought I changed something for a second, but no. And that's it. I'm officially out of ideas. I'm going to go back to Cannon Island, but I don't know how you get in there. That's not allowed to be changed. It's interesting that those aren't allowed to be changed. Oh. Is it that they don't work? Was it on 6 before? Not changed. Okay. Where was the actual cannon? Oh, it's on there. Let me in. Yeah, I'd love to solve puzzles. If only I knew where they were. But yeah, that was previously movable. I moved it up, that started humming. The only thing else that's interactable that I can think of doing is that teleport at the start, and I do not have coordinates for that, but maybe I'm supposed to be able to figure out coordinates. But you can see, I don't think the game is broken. There's just got to be something I've missed. But I don't want to look up. It's like I've already had to look up a couple of nudges, and I'd really like to not do that anymore. And I've read the author's intent is that you get stuck and come back on a different day and you slowly progress. But like, I'm not even seeing the sort of general direction that I would investigate. It just feels like I haven't found a thing. Like the fucking door I was missing, or that I just hadn't found. So I think I might have to let you go. Short of just straight up looking up the answer. Also, I don't even know if this is like... Maybe there's another button I'm missing, because this turns the teleporter. But I don't know if it launches it, because I've never, I've not been able to use the teleporter. I think it's really strange that there's 3 of them. Maybe it's just so you can save coordinates. It's probably that. Let's say I put it on 2020. If I do that, it'll reset it back to 00. Put it on 2020. And if I switch it to 2020, yeah, it won't make any difference. Okay, so I think this is so you can remember 3 different coordinates. And then you select. So, is it on 000? I don't know what that means. It's just power. I will say it doesn't seem to be pointing downwards. It's sort of weird. Nice. So it only goes to 90. That's fair enough, that's pointing upwards. So, I could do with some feedback. I don't know if, like, the teleporter's gone, oh, no destination, or if I've just not found the teleport button, or if it's not powered. But there's some power because that's moving. But, like, feedback, any kind of feedback in some of these situations would be really useful, just for learning things. Also, while we're at it, this counter should speed up. So the reason why I'm married to 000000, other than just being a sort of, this is why I just leave things, you know. Is that according to this, Laboratory Island is there. Why does it say 0 signal? Okay. Maybe this is the observatory. I like it. Like maybe if I just turn it left once, because the lamppost is there, right? And I don't want to teleport to a lamppost. I want to teleport to... Well, I'm not pointing at a lamppost. I'm pointing forwards. It'd be pointing that way. Quite far away though. This is they're not actually this close. So if it's far away, then so maybe I'm trying to get the signal to go up. But yeah, this is why I think it's 0000000, because that's where the fucking island is. Maybe I'm wrong. That's where that is. I haven't been able to turn on the light to Laboratory Island yet. But yeah, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to already have figured out something, and I haven't. So I'll tell you what, just for the sake of fucking moving on, I'll look up a hint, because I don't know what I'm doing.